But honestly, I think we need to start with aggression. Like, I really feel that's where we need to start. What do we do with our aggression? What's up, everybody? Welcome to Real Men, Real Talk. This is the place where we have uncomfortable conversations in the world's most comfortable underwear. You can get some in the link down below. We love this underwear. We smoke what we grow. We use our own product. It's fantastic. This episode, we are also joined by my cat. Say hello to the people, kitty. All right, cool. Now that that's over, this episode is going to be about what makes a real man. What is a real man in today's society? And we're actually going to make this it's probably going to end up being like a 4 or 5 part series because there's like 4-ish pillars that if you engage in these pillars, then you'll find yourself being a real man. Now, I know that's a bit of a hot button issue. You don't have to agree with all these pillars, but what I tried to do and what we tried to do in this episode as we talked is come up with some things that most of us can agree on because there's a lot of differing opinions out there. So without further ado, physical strength and health, leadership, self-discipline, and sacrificial love. Before we get into those pillars, we need to start with what a real man is not. And there's a lot of hurt people because of men out in the world. What we want to say is that real men are not caricatures. And you got the caricature of like the model, the super buff guy, guys with beards, guys with big trucks, cowboys, ranchers. What we're trying to go against with this point is that just by doing those things, that doesn't make you a real man. I've worked on cars. I know my way around an engine. I can get out there and haul wood, but that doesn't make me a real man. So we're going to tease these out to start. First of all, we're going to start with physical strength. And Tilghman, you take it away here. From your stories, from your life, why is it helpful for a man to be physically strong?
Well, if he's a father to a boy, he's going to be the first man that boy sees every single day of his life. And so if he sees somebody that's just snacking back on fudge rounds and watching TV all day, more than likely that kid's going to grow up doing the same things. I look at it as like, if you're physically fit, yeah, you can feel like a caricature, right? If you're physically fit, you can feel like that caricature, but you're setting an example for everybody around you, especially your kids. I say boys, but even if you have a daughter too, you want your kids to look up to you as like, hey, my dad looks and works out like Superman. So I want to be just like him, and just in moments in my life, because we're real men. We go through real lives. We have roller coasters, right? So sometimes there's times where I've gotten really out of shape and my attitude towards life, my attitude towards my family, myself even is just really
Me
low.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you move your body, and not saying you have to get like super shredded up, but when you're moving your body, you're going to feel better no matter how big you are, no matter how skinny you are, right? So if you just move your body, you're releasing those endorphins. That's just going to like help you, I guess, bond to life better, if that makes sense, right? So in turn,
So we're
becoming a real man. Yeah.
So we're going to pause on that one because we don't want to talk about that one too much. All right, next one. We're going to try to make this a little quicker for our viewers. Leadership. Tilghman, why is leadership important?
To be a real man means to be a good leader in the sense of like, hey, you lead by example. And when the going gets tough, you participate in the work that you might be leading or the activity or et cetera.
Okay. So why is that make a good man? Why is that like a characteristic to be desired? Anecdotal story. It maybe you can talk about your life and say here's me leading, here's me not leading.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So there's been opportunities in my life where I've led, I've been a follower, and I've been a leader. And I've noticed when you're a leader, you get respected. Obviously, people are going to respect you. They're going to hold you to a higher standard. But when you're a follower, you can also be a leader, right? So you can be the leader of the followers following the leader, if that makes. So it's like it's a constant, like it's
Okay.
domino effect, right? So
So I'll kind of play off that. You're actually right about that. Even if you're following somebody, because whether you know it or not, everybody's following somebody. There's always a bigger, dude or lady. But having following well means owning your space. So that actually plays into the third one, which is self-discipline. So Tillman, self-discipline, why is that important?
Oh, man, this category is tough for me. So, my self-discipline, man. Whew, whew. No, it's it is probably one of the. I mean, it's self-discipline has. I feel like is the keystone of being a real man because you're keeping your word to yourself. You're keeping your word to others around you. Like, hey, you didn't sleep too well last night, but you got to move your body if you want to feel good. So you're going to get up and move your body anyway, even if it's even just like a slow 15-minute bike ride. So just small things like that, being disciplined enough to take care of yourself, your personal hygiene. Because there's people out there that aren't disciplined enough to do those things, right? So it takes discipline to do everyday tasks that can be monotonous, but in turn, when you're disciplined enough to keep on doing those things, you're going to knock out larger things.
Can get on board with that. All right. And I actually might add in a fifth one here. I was just thinking about it. But we're going to move on to sacrificial love. I'll offer my theory on sacrificial love. So I'm a Christian. And if you don't agree with that, set that to the side. I want you to try sacrificial love for this reason. Because when you love sacrificially, that takes all the things that you do in life and points them in the right direction. If you're using your physical strength, your leadership, your self discipline, and I'm going to add this one in there, aggression. If you use your aggression and put them under the banner of sacrificial love, service for others, laying your life down for other people, that's going to make sure that you don't turn into one of these statistics. 90% of people in jail are men. Like, there's a reason for that. So, sacrificial love is extremely important because it takes all of our energies and focuses them to the right things.
When I think of sacrificial love, I think of the phrase, gosh, what was it? It's like the phrase, people always say, I would die for you. But then if you look at it from a standpoint of sacrificial love, yeah, that's great. You would die for them, but would you live for them too? And
You need
that's
to be
kind
able
of
to
like,
do both.
yeah, exactly. And then you are able to do both. And that's the beauty of it. Cause like people are like, oh, and it goes back to what a real man is. It's like the self discipline, the physical fitness, and everything like that. So, like, especially being a father, like, if you, like you say, oh, I die for my kids, like, live for your kids too, man. Like, be physically fit, be the real man that they need to grow up seeing, do this, do that. And yeah, it sucks sometimes. You're going to be tired. It sucks. But then, there's going to be times where you got to just grit through it and be like, hey, I'm doing this because I love myself and I want to live for my family too.
Dude, you just blew my mind. All right. The whole thing about, willing to die for you, but not willing to live. I think I just figured out why that's such a good statement. It's easy to say I die for you if you have a reasonable expectation that you're not going to have to die for somebody. That's why anybody can say that. Oh, I die for you. But like most people, if you live in a first world country, like you're not going to die of starvation. Most likely, you're not gonna like even when you're homeless, like you can get food. There's programs out there. You're probably not going to be held up at gunpoint if you live in a good city. Like that's easy to say, but it's a lot harder, just like literally in the day to day, to practice dying to yourself and living for somebody else. So, man, you just blew my mind, dude. Love it. Love it. All right. So I'm going to do something maybe I shouldn't do. Tillman, why does a real man need to be aggressive?
Oh boy. Um, when I hear aggressive, the first thing that comes to my mind is like the snarl, the mean, like the Rocky Balboa boxer kind of style, right? But that's where a lot of people are going to go. When I hear aggression nowadays, you can call it anger, but you can take that aggression and take that energy and put it towards something else. So taking that aggressiveness and putting your foot in, putting both feet in at 110% in whatever you're doing, so that way you're not sitting back thinking
See
I
that?
didn't put it forth enough.
Because we think that being aggressive is bad, like just
Exactly.
100% bad.
Yeah.
Well,
Awful.
what I'm learning with my son is that like he's aggressive. I have a lot more success with my son. Aggression, like in a boy, is like it's like a power. You need to harness it. You can't just stuff it down. You need to actually like take it and teach them to use it for good. And the problem is most of us as men have either just totally sold out and like just like we're just aggressive all the time, or we've stuffed it all down and we're not aggressive enough. But we need to probably start regarding our aggression as a force that we can harness for good. That's one, I think that'll be a really fun episode to get into. Okay. So, man, maybe we should start there. I don't know. Man, we're changing things on the fly here at Real Man. Real Man, Real Talk.
Full of surprises.
Yeah. All right. So, hey guys, I think that's a good overview. We kind of probably went into those categories a little more than I was hoping to start, but we're trying to do things better here. We're actually trying to do some research and get you guys some statistics, some studies. We hope to get a subject matter expert on here for one of the future episodes. There's a couple people that I know that I've been talking to that I'd love to get their opinion on this. So we're going to start with, man, we were going to do physical strength, but honestly, I think we need to start with aggression. Like, I really feel that's where we need to start.
Let's see.
What do we do with our aggression?
Yeah.
Because honestly, that's a big problem in society. And the government and Christianity and Buddhists and, all these religions, we're trying to solve the problem of aggression. So yeah, let's start with aggression. I've been studying this for quite a while. We're going to start there. All right. So, changed it on the fly, called an audible. We hope to see you guys next time. I'm really excited to do the next episode on aggression. Hey, don't forget, underwear, links down below. If you loved this episode, you can subscribe, you can comment. We would love to hear your thoughts on this because we're going to be answering your reader mail when it comes to this series. So, throw in your comments. We'd love to hear from you. We love you guys. We'll see you next time. All right. That was one of the more interesting episodes we've done, trying to like figure it all out on the
That's
fly.
okay. We'll be better
Like,
next
we
week.
had an outline, we promise. It's just, but as we started talking about it, we're like, oh my gosh, we can't talk about this without talking about this.
It all goes hand in
So,
hand.
yeah.